and welcome to The View According to You, the post-party parlay for Monday, March 24th, 2025. Okay, guys, so I didn't make a podcast for last week, Thursday and Friday. I watched the show. It was fine. It was great. Nothing really stood out for me. There was nothing that I really wanted to come and speak about, so I didn't just want to make a podcast for the sake of creating a podcast. But on Friday when I was watching, there was someone in the comments and he was commenting quite a bit. So I take it this is like a super fan. But one of the things that he made a joke, I assume it's a joke because it had, all the laughing emojis. But he was something along the lines of, once again, Anna Navarro is showing Sunny and Alyssa dust or something along those lines, because he was saying that he or she, whatever, was saying that whenever Sunny speaks or Alyssa speaks, Anna does not look at them. And I thought, okay, no, he's being dramatic. And just for fun, I rewound and watched a bit, and I saw, and I definitely, whenever Alyssa speaks, like, she does not look at Alyssa, but we all know how Anna feels about Alyssa. That is no news to any of us. That's not news to any of us. But when it came to Sunny, I thought, okay, no, you are grasping at straws. However, on today's episode, Monday, 24 March, I definitely picked up that whenever Sunny was speaking, with the exception of when they had a guest, but during the hot topics, whenever Sunny was speaking, Anna deliberately did not look at Sunny or Alyssa whenever they were making their points. And I thought, maybe this viewer might have been onto something. Because, like I said, on Friday, I just thought, okay, no, you're grasping at straws. But today, it was really obvious. And then when Sunny was making a point, and I think it was her second time speaking, as soon as she was like near to the end of her point, Anna interjected and was like, Whoopi, what did you want to say? And that sounded like, let's move past Sunny. Whoopi, I'm more interested in what you had to say, type of thing. So I just thought maybe there's something to that. Has anybody else picked up that there is a vibe there? I don't know. Maybe I'm being influenced by this viewer, but I definitely saw something going on between Anna and Sunny. But it seemed to be coming just from Anna's side, which kind of makes sense to me, because if you look at Anna and Sunny, they are really the heavyweights of the show when it comes to content. I'm not talking about personality. I know Whoopi is the big personality and the big name at the show, but when it comes to substantive content, Anna lives and breathes political stuff. So whenever she's speaking from a place of knowing what she's talking about. She's speaking confidently. She's speaking with facts, and she doesn't even need her cue cards. She doesn't even look at her cue cards. Like, she knows the stuff. Like, she lives and breathes politics. When it comes to that's Anna. When it comes to Sunny, no one can outwork Sunny. Like, Sunny works hard and she does her homework and she does her research. So when she's giving her point of view, she's got facts to back it up. She's confident, she's meticulous, and she's informative. So I think those two, when you've got two heavyweights who I assume are used to being the smartest people in the room, now when you get to the table and there's constantly someone at the table who's just as accomplished as you, who's just as smart as you, I assume it's only natural that there'll be some sort of clash, some sort of annoyance. I don't think it's a big thing the way Anna feels about Alyssa. I think Anna just does not like Alyssa and what she stands for, and thinks she's a fake and a fraud. With Sunny, I think it's just that sort of healthy competition. But what I did want to just take a minute to listen to is when it came to the first topic, when they were talking about the Bernie Sanders and AOC rally, just listen to Sunny's take And then you'll be able to hear why I say this woman is really a class above the rest when it comes to doing her homework. Let's take a listen.
It's a terrific strategy person. And what he was saying is people are tired of Democrats defending the system because, as I've often said, the rule book is gone right now. And so they want an alternative for the pain that they are feeling. They want the pain to be acknowledged, but then they want an answer to their pain. When you look at Bernie, his answer is tax the rich, tax the rich. When you look at Obama, his plan was bipartisanship. Let's work together so that we all feel less pain. Trump's was Project 2025. This is how we're going to do it. Democrats now want to know what is the Democratic plan. And if you look at the stats, 78% of Democrats want a fighting opposition party, not a minority party. They don't want business as usual. They want a fighting opposition party. And that's the majority of the country. And I think that's why AOC and Bernie are sort of packing these things. What I will say is I don't know that the message is correct. I think that their messaging is a little bit off if you look at what people want and are looking for, because cost and economy is still number one, and taxing the rich may not do that for the majority of people. They want to see much more of an action plan. How do you address my pain? And so that there you have it.
Actually,
if you listen to Sunny, I mean, she brought in statistics, she brought in facts, and then she brought in her opinion, why she feels that way. So it's substantive. So whether you agree with her or disagree with her, you were informed. There is information that is filtering through, and that's why I say she is brilliant at doing her homework. Now, similarly, Anna is brilliant. However, Anna is not one who does a whole lot of homework or a whole lot of research. She lives and breathes the stuff. So you can tell that she is just on any given day, she is just consuming political information. She is in the rooms with these people. She's friends with a lot of these politicians. So she is prepped and ready. And unlike Sunny, who looks at her cue cards to make sure she gets all the facts correct, which no knock against her, that is brilliant. She is well prepared. Anna, however, she has just as much information to give and just as much facts. Let's take a listen to her when they were talking about the deportation.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Well, listen, everything he just said that is a complete and absolute lie. And I would say to Tom Homan, if in fact they are Tren de Aragua, and if in fact they are hardened criminals, then why don't you release their names and release their crimes?
Yes.
Show us the evidence. Are we a country of rules and laws and evidence, or are we a dictatorship? And even the government themselves, in a filing they did when they were in front of the judge that is trying to stop these flights, that the guy that gave the judicial order that they defied, the government lawyers went in there and said that many of the people that have sent to the worst prison in the Western Hemisphere, this place in El Salvador, 40,000 people it fits, hardened gang criminals, no mail, no phone calls, no contact. You go into a hellhole. And we've learned case after case of Venezuelan with no ties to this gang Tren de Aragua, with no criminal records. I can't stop thinking about this one 23-year-old gay makeup artist, Adris, who just disappeared. He was in the process of political asylum, and they disappeared him, okay? Their families and loved ones are learning these people are there because they see them on a video that the government of El Salvador put out. This is all being done for the purpose of cruelty. It is all a political farce. Most of these people that they sent, or many of them, as quoting the government, do not have ties to Tren de Aragua. This is inhumane. It is disgusting. It is outrageous. It is racially profiling Venezuelans and Latinos. It is un-America. And Americans need to stand up and say, we will not accept this kind of inhumanity from our government.
Especially.
There you have it. I mean, if again, listen to Anna. She is so well prepped. And like I say, she's not looking at her cards. She's passionate about it, but she gives this wealth of information. So for me, it would make sense if you have these two highly accomplished individuals, highly informed individuals, who are constantly at the same table, having to tackle the same topics. I think that it's only natural that there might be a little bit of competition. But let's just take a listen to the moment that I was referring to, where it was clear that Anna was just over Sunny. Let's take a listen.
Women's rights, support LGBTQ plus IA rights, and also greedy corporations.
Right. So what did you have to say?
I just was going to say.
I mean, if you guys saw that, as Sunny was speaking, she was not looking at Sunny at all. And as soon as Sunny sounded like she was at the period of a sentence, Anna jumped in to say, Whoopi, what is it that you wanted to say? So there's clearly something going on there, in my opinion. But again, am I just being riled up by the commenter that I saw, or do you guys agree that there's something odd happening between these two women? Then on the opposite end of the scale, did you guys see when Whoopi went to her usual song about "It Is Up to Us"? The camera cut to Sunny and Alyssa. Guys, I implore you, please go to the official YouTube page of The View, the episode for March 24th, and just go to 21 minutes and 38 seconds. Just freeze it there and have a look at Sunny and Alyssa's faces. Like, Sunny is sipping her tea like, oh goodness, here we go again. Alyssa is looking like, can somebody just shut this woman up? Like, it is clear that everybody, it's not just us at home, everybody is annoyed by her same old boring song, because once again, Whoopi is not prepped for the topics. Other than that, besides the dynamics, look, the first topic about, the AOC and Bernie's rally, I thought was really interesting. Sarah's take, where she once again was, touting Alyssa Slotkin from Michigan for having the formula for the Democratic Party moving forward because she won in a Republican state, a state where Trump won. I think that argument falls flat because that would be like us saying that the Republican Party needs to follow Adam Kissinger because he's a Republican who won in a Democratic state. Like, I just think it doesn't hold any water. I think that was true 10 years ago. That was pre-Trump era. I think now those type of politicians, those in the middle, they fall away. Just like Adam Kissinger fell away. This, what's her name? Alyssa Slotkin, she will fall away because, as I've said in a previous podcast, the world is moving towards the extremes and they need to go. The Democratic Party needs to go to the far left. And that is why your far left politicians like Bernie and AOC are able to hold such huge rallies that the leaders of the Democratic Party, Chuck Schumer, cannot come even close to those numbers. In fact, he ran away and is now in hiding. Well, not in hiding, but he's only doing media interviews. He's not doing public events. He was supposed to do public events to promote his new book. Remember, he was on The View last week promoting that book. There was supposed to be public events to promote the book. He cancelled all of those because of protests, because of safety concerns, because of the backlash from the Democratic base with his stance and what he is doing and how he is leading the party. So I think Sarah, I love Sarah. A lot of my personal beliefs align with hers, sort of moderate, middle of the road. But in this economic climate, that is just bad advice. I don't think it holds any water. People are talking about whether AOC might be the candidate to push forward in 2028. I don't think that's going to happen. I think even though people want to move to the progressive side of things, I think everyone is really scared from what happened with Kamala Harris, that I don't think they're going to put a Latina woman at the top of the ticket. It's not fair, it's not right, but I don't think that is going to happen. I think that's wishful thinking. Also, interestingly, just speaking about the middle of the road, the sector of the Democratic Party's electorate that they lost in this past election to the Republican Party was the white male vote, the white youth male vote. And it's interesting that just a couple of years ago, Bernie was being critiqued for having, the Bernie bros. It was all these young white guys who were supporting Bernie, but they saw that the party had let Bernie down. The party chose not to go that way and go a different direction. And that very core electorate is who Trump picked up in this past election. So I think it's very interesting to have a look at what Bernie and AOC are doing. And the Democratic Party now needs to figure out, how do they find a leader? Neither of those two. He's too old, and she, like I say, does not fit the demographics. So the Democratic Party needs to find a leader that can take those policies, those stances, package it in a way that can appeal to the masses and rally behind that person. That is their job for the next 2 years, because in 2 years' time, they need to have that person ready to go and hitting the road for the Democratic primary. So yeah, the rest of the show, really cool. I enjoyed Juju and her perspective. And then, as usual, I skipped through the View Your Deal just because I have no interest in that. But cool show. I enjoyed it. That was my takeaway for Monday, March 24th. What else? What did I miss? What did you guys think? Do you guys think, number one, is there really a thing going on between Anna and Sunny? Specifically from Anna's point of view. And number two, what do you think about the Democratic Party and where they need to go? This seems to be a recurring theme that's discussed on the show. What should the Democratic Party be doing? Where should they be going? Who should be leading them? I think that is the focus, the political focus on The View, at least for the next year and a half, until there's sort of some idea of the direction in which the party is going. What is your opinion? Do you think Sarah is onto something when she says a middle of the road candidate, a moderate candidate, or do you think it is time for a progressive to take the reins? Let me know what you guys think, and we will chat again soon. Thanks, guys. Bye.